So, do you know that you are a narcissist's worst nightmare? If you've ever dealt with a narcissist, you already know they're not just a bad partner or a toxic friend. They are emotional puppeteers. They twist your words, manipulate your mind, and drain your soul. But guess what? You are the narcissist's worst nightmare. And by the end of this video, you might just realize that you've never known this. But as an empath, if you are an empath, you're just a narcissist's worst nightmare. Just know that. So welcome back if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time and we're sharing guidance and everything to do with life. And you are most appreciated. Thank you for passing by. So, see, narcissists thrive on control. They need your attention, your reactions, your confusion. They need you to question yourself so they never have to face themselves. And you know why narcissists fear people like you? You don't give them what they want anymore. You used to. You used to over-explain. You used to apologize when you did nothing wrong. You used to walk on eggshells like it was your full-time job, but not anymore. Because you've seen the game, you've studied the patterns, you've connected the dots, and now you can smell the manipulation before it even starts, and that's why they hate people like you. Because you don't feed the monster, you expose it. And you ask the questions they can't answer. Do you know that? Do you know how you can make a narcissist uncomfortable? Ask them real questions. Like questions like, why do you only show up when you want something? Why does every argument end with me apologizing? Why is it that no matter what happens, you're always the victim? They hate those questions. Ask questions like, why do you only love me when I'm weak? Why is it always about what I did wrong but never about what you did? Why do I feel lonelier with you than without you? All these are toxic questions to a narcissist because they expose the truth. The truth is the one thing they can't twist forever. Because you don't accept vague excuses or manipulative half apologies. You want real raw accountability, and that terrifies them. And that's why they hate people like you, because you don't feed the monster. You expose it. Because deep down they don't have answers, just distractions, just blame, just emotional smoke and mirrors. And you see through it now. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Narcissists survive by making you question yourself, your worth, your sanity, your memory. But you've reclaimed all of it. You've learned how to say no, that's not true, I deserve better, and most importantly, you no longer have access to me is what you say. You don't argue anymore. You don't explain your boundaries, you enforce them. That's when you become untouchable. You don't need their approval anymore. And this is where it really ends for them. Because once you stop needing their approval, you're free. You stop explaining yourself. You stop shrinking to make them comfortable. You stop bending over backwards to earn crumbs of love that should have been freely given in the first place. You used to think you needed them to validate you. Now, you validate yourself. You've taken back your voice. You've set boundaries they can't cross. And guess what? You don't argue anymore. You don't argue for your worth anymore. You embody it. And the nightmare begins when you heal. Healing is loud, even in silence. Healing sends a message You tell them what you did was real, but it no longer defines me. You've turned your pain into clarity, your heartbreak into purpose, your silence into a microphone, and now you speak for those who are still finding their voice. The narcissists can't control healed people. They can't manipulate people who know their worth. And they definitely can't stand people like you who turn their cows into a comeback. Because healing is where the real power is. They can't follow you there. They stay stuck in the same cycle over and over again. But you're evolving. You're learning to trust your gut again. You're learning that no is a complete sentence. You're learning that walking away doesn't make you weak. It makes you unstoppable. And that's what terrifies them. Not your anger, not your pain. Your healing is what terrifies them. Because when you heal, you take away their power. You leave the cage and you don't look back. So if you're watching this and you're waking up, you're remembering who you are, you're starting to see through the fog, then you are the narcissist's worst nightmare too. Not because you hurt them, but because you survived them. And that's something they will never understand. Because you're waking up, because you're seeing the lies for what they are, because you're finally remembering who you are, then congratulations. So keep rising, keep healing, keep speaking, because the moment you stop fearing the narcissist is the moment they fear you. Because you survived, because you refused to stay broken, and because now you're free. And if no one's told you today, you're not crazy, you're not weak, you're not too sensitive, you're powerful. And the storm they tried to drown you in, you became it. So if this message found you when you needed it, share it with someone else who's waking up, and hit that like button so we can reach more people who need to hear this. So I will see you when you see me next in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Stay strong. With much love. Know that you're not alone anymore. Let's heal loud. So with much love, God bless.